Oh hey, is it just me or are G.I. Joe hats really hard to find? I've looked online, I've looked at hat shops, and G.I. Joe hats just don't seem to exist much anymore. There were some good ones that came out in the past. New Era had some, but they were a long time ago, and any of those now are super expensive to buy. So I thought, I'm going to take this into my own hands, and I'm going to create my very own G.I. Joe hat. So stick around and I'll show you how to make your very own G.I. Joe hat. So I went online and I went to Etsy.com and I started searching for G.I. Joe patches. So after a bit of a search, I stumbled upon Padawan Bear Patches and Pins, who is on Etsy. The person that runs this on Etsy is rated 5 stars. And as I searched through here, I found a G.I. Joe patch set. And I thought this was fantastic because we get a retro patch right here, and we've also got a HasLab Cobra Hiss Tank patch, and for the upcoming Dragonfly HasLab, there is a brand new patch for that too. I noticed that the price for all 3 patches was only $19.65 Canadian, which I thought was very reasonable. So I placed my order. Took a little bit of time, but they eventually got to me, and now I have them. So in the mail, I got a nice envelope from Padawan Bear Patches and Pins. I got this nice card with it, and on the back it shows some of the stuff that he has. As you can see, he focuses a lot on Star Wars, but he does have a little bit of G.I. Joe. So like I said, I got those patches. So there's the retro patch, G.I. Joe logo. I got the Cobra Hiss HasLab patch because we got the Hiss Tank, and the upcoming G.I. Joe HasLab from Hasbro, the Dragonfly, and we got a patch for that too. So then I went out and I chose my favorite kind of hat, which is New Era hats. It's pretty much all I wear. And so I went out to our local hat shop and I just picked up a plain black New Era fitted hat. This is the same, the 5950 baseball style hat, fitted 7 5/8 for this big head. And this is what we're going to use. And I've decided I'm going to use the Cobra Hiss HasLab patch because I think that on there will just look really, really awesome, and definitely a hat that I'll want to wear all the time. So stick around. We'll put this on and we'll see how it turns out. Okay, so if I had a heat press for hats, this would be super easy to do. But since I don't, we have to go the old school way here. You're gonna need your basic household iron. You're also going to need just a small tape measure. You're gonna need a towel, just a hand towel. And you're gonna need some little pins. Just little pins like that have the metal heads on them. Don't use pins that have like a plastic colored head or anything like that on it. You just want all metal, otherwise it'll melt. The first thing I'm going to do is I need to find the center point of the patch so that I know where to match it up with the hat so it's all centered. So if we line it up right about where that little hole is there for that tag hole, you're talking 4 inches, just a little shy of 4 inches. So basically right here, the line of the B, so this edge right here, that would be a good middle point to line up with the center of the hat. So when we bring the hat in, we've got that seam straight down the middle there. So that's what we're going to want to line up the edge of the B with that line, and then it should be centered. And then we need to secure it there so it doesn't move while we put the iron to it. So to do that, you're going to need the towel, and we're going to open up the hat. We're going to put the towel in the hat, so this gives you something to hold on to so you don't burn your hands when you're putting your ironing the patch on. And then we're going to use those pins, and I'm going to basically find the spot where I want the hat, and then I'm just going to push these 4 pins, one kind of in each corner area here. I'm just going to put it right through that red stitch. You're not going to see it when you pull the pin out. You won't see it, but I'm going to put one in all 4 corners there, and that should secure it enough to the hat so that it's not going to move or shift at all, so you can apply the iron to it for the first time. So I'll go ahead and set that up. I'll show you what it looks like with the pins in it, and then we'll fire up the iron. I've put all 4 of the pins in. I've got this centered the best that I can, and that it's even and level. So as you can see, there's those pins. They take a little bit to push them in, which is good because you want it to be snug. The towel is on the other side here, and the pins are going into that. You just have to be careful you don't stick it in your finger or anything like that. But basically, that's how you want to get it on the hat. And then we are going to take the iron and just dry heat. I'm going to put the iron right down on the middle, and I'm going to start getting it ironed on in this area here. We can go over those pins because, like I said, they're metal tops on them. You don't want plastic, so we can go right over that and make sure the glue on the patch is melted by the heat, and then the adhesive on the patch will get a good contact with the hat to stay on there well. So, all right, I'm gonna fire up the old iron here, and we are going to get this patch secured on the hat. Okay, so the iron should be nice and hot now. I left it on to get really warm and hot. I don't want any mistakes here. So we're just gonna take the hat and get that towel in your hand. So you get a good hole on it there like that. And we're just gonna take that iron and we're just gonna put it right down in the center. Start melting that glue on the back side of the patch. And then I'm just gonna kind of go back and forth and go around. Hopefully everything goes well. And then when it's all done, I just simply will have to pull those pins out and should be good to go. So here we go. So we're gonna take the iron and we're just gonna put it right down in the middle. And I'm gonna start moving it back and forth a bit. This should only take about 15 to 20 seconds for the adhesive to start to melt and then stick to the hat. Just gotta be careful with those pins; it doesn't catch. But I'm just gonna kind of go back and forth, and we're just gonna work it around. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull the pins out of one side only, and then I'm going to get the each side nice and flat there. So once we take those pins out of there, then I'm gonna continue going over the patch. And I'm gonna keep moving the iron around so it doesn't burn or anything. Okay, so the one side is looking good. I think it is gonna stick. It is hot. So I'm just gonna let that sit for just a minute here, and then I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. I'll take those 2 pins out, and I'll move the iron around on there, and then we'll do the same, and it'll be done. Okay, so I'm gonna remove those other 2 pins, and then I'll continue the same thing. I'll use the front end of the iron and just go over that side of the hat. It's best to try not to go off the patch too much so that you don't affect the front of the actual hat. You don't want to melt it or burn it or anything. All right, and once I've got that all on there, which looks good, I'm just going to hold. Just want to ensure that that's going to be on there. All the edges are stuck, and there you go. Patch is on nice and straight. The pins kept it in place. It looks like all the edges have stuck. So there is my new era classified series G.I. Joe Cobra Hiss HasLab hat. All right, guys, there's the finished hat. I think it's awesome. I'm really happy with it. It was super fun to do, and it wasn't too hard. So if it's something you guys would be interested in, let me know in the comments what you thought about this. Is it something you might be interested in? Well, if it is, get online and hit up on Etsy, Padawan Bear patches and pins. Get your order in and get your hats made. So guys, as usual, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit that like button if you like this video. And please hit that bell so you know exactly when my next video is up and ready for you guys to watch. So until next time, guys, and hopefully it's a new classified figure, take care.